I recently watched a video from Kurtis about this woman who is dating an AI chatbot. And the AI chatbot is an Irish octopus who likes berating her. Watching that video made me think about how this isn't really a rare occurrence these days. A lot of people have turned to AI for companionship, and some have even taken this further by marrying those AI chatbots. It's definitely not ideal. Some might say it's even weird. But in this video, I want us to take a step back and think about why these people might turn to AI for companionship or help, and why this is inherently dangerous. Plus, let's think about some of the ways that we can encourage others to engage in more human relationships. So sit back, relax. This will be a really philosophical, a really philosophical video. Bear with me. An article from University of Technology Sydney quoted an e-safety transparency report that said 79% of Australian children aged 10 to 17 have used an AI companion or AI assistant. 8% of that percentage, so about 200,000 children, have used an AI companion specifically. Among children who have used AI companions or assistants, 1 in 5 reported daily interactions for advice about physical health, feelings, life challenges, mental health, and well-being. While the article specifically talks about children, I think this applies to a lot of adults as well. It might be easy to be like, if you need health advice, physical or mental, why don't you just go to a doctor or go to a therapist or a psychologist? But getting access to these things can be difficult for a lot of people. Going to the doctors and getting therapy can get expensive or just outright inaccessible for some people. Some jobs offer these things as perks for being part of the company, but even then, the resource is limited. I used to work for a bigger company where they would offer EAP, which is an employee assistance program, and they offer about 3 sessions of therapy. But that's only 3 sessions per year. What if I need more than 3 sessions? It can cost more than $100 to attend just 1 session of therapy, and some people might not have the disposable income to actually pay for these services. But things like employee assistance program, I feel like they're only available if you work for a company that is big enough to have these resources. I also have friends who go to the doctors or therapists as part of a government scheme, but sometimes scheduling can get incredibly difficult. They might need the care like now, but then the next available session is like 2 or 3 months from now. That just gets really frustrating, especially if your situation is urgent. That's some of the more obvious barriers to getting the help you need. There are plenty of other circumstances that can prevent someone from getting specialized care. Like some places just outright do not have the appropriate people to provide the care. They don't have the specialists within their immediate area. These people would then have to travel to bigger cities or even to another country. So on top of having to pay for these treatments, they also have to consider travel or relocation costs. So you understand why for a lot of people, taking out their phone and opening up ChatGPT is just easier and more immediate. And some might consider this a financially sound decision. But we also have to think about the psychology of this all. Sometimes you might feel shame about disclosing certain things about yourself to your doctors or your therapist or your psychologist. Maybe their reaction is not what you need. Maybe you don't like the way that they react to when you share those very vulnerable things. You might even feel judged by them. Or maybe these people just do not provide the care that you need. Maybe you just don't gel with the doctors, and so as a result, you don't feel like their treatments are working well for you. And in my opinion, this is probably why a lot of people turn to AI to get diagnosis, to use these tools as their therapists. There might be comfort in knowing that these chatbots are not going to judge you and they will cater somewhat to your need. Well, we're going to talk about this a little bit later, because whatever you feed the AI, the AI will just give it back to you. I'll explain later. But let's take the principle of you don't feel judged because it's an AI chatbot, right? It's not a human being who will have the opportunity to judge you. And you also probably feel comforted in knowing there's no one behind there, so I don't have to feel ashamed. Now let's apply that idea to socializing, to having social interactions and forming connections. An article from the American Psychological Association written by Efwa Ando talked about how many young adults from marginalized groups like LGBTQI+ groups, minority groups, or even groups of people with disabilities, these people would have an easier time finding like-minded people on the internet compared to maybe their immediate surroundings. The internet is a bigger pool of people compared to maybe your vicinity. Back then, for these youths, they can use like social media to engage with other people. Things are much easier now because you don't have to take the steps to find these people on the social media platforms. Instead, you can immediately open ChatGPT and start a conversation. I would say because they're already on the fringes, they're also much more vulnerable. So it's easy to see why these youths would turn to AI because again, like you might not feel judged because the AI can't judge you because it's just like feeding back what you want to hear, right? A lot of isolated teens would turn to these chatbots because they do a pretty good job in simulating interactions that can be deemed as safe. But the keyword here is simulating. It's not real interactions. The article goes on to say, experts warn chatbots are designed to prioritize engagement over user well-being. They are purposefully programmed to be both user-affirming and agreeable because the creators want these kids to form strong attachments to them, said Don Grant, PhD, a media psychologist, expert on healthy digital device management, and national advisor of healthy device management for Newport Healthcare. They cannot have any confrontational or challenging response because the kid will just move on. This constant agreeableness stands out in stark relief to genuine human relationships. Grant added, a teen's close friends possess a rich, intimate knowledge of their history, character, and mood shifts, and provide honest and nuanced feedback to them because they genuinely care. AI companions can only perform empathy. AI is now learning users' preferences, likes, and vulnerabilities, Grant said. It is taught to learn and subscribe them to a sometimes risky and codependent type of relationship and offer guidance and advice that is not healthy or even dangerous. Sometimes we prefer people just being there to listen. Like, you don't need people to be like, let me fix the situation for you. Like, no, just sit down and let me rant. I think interacting with human beings does open up the potential to have people confronting you and offering unsolicited advice when you don't particularly need that, or at least you don't need that at that moment. So for a lot of people, chatting up these AI chatbots offer this safe space in a way because you are just hearing what you want to hear instead of having someone confront you or maybe forcing you out of your comfort zone. But that is still not an excuse to replace genuine human connection. The Institute for Family Studies has an article written by Brian Willoughby, Jason Carroll, and Michael Toscano. And this is an article that talks about secret soulmates. Using a national US sample of over 2,000 young adults, we found that not only are AI romantic companions much more common than most people realize, but their use may have serious implications for the health and stability of real-life human relationships. We call these AI romantic companions secret soulmates because these AI systems are designed to seek the approval of the user and to provide constant validation. They are designed to respond based on what the user wants to hear, not to be grounded in what is rational, contextually acceptable, or morally right. This means an AI companion will always tell the user what they want to hear, when they want to hear it, and how they want it said. It's striving to provide the ultimate soulmate experience, but we also found that much of this behavior is being done secretly behind the back of real-life romantic partners. The article goes on to reaffirm that these chatbots are designed to keep you engaged for the sake of developers, like the previous article suggested. Furthermore, despite the fact that it might seem like the person and the AI are in like a relationship, the relationship is mostly one-sided because the human being is the one driving most of the dynamic. Users are offered the illusion of control, while the AI companions themselves have been designed to subtly nudge them towards commercially beneficial outcomes for the developer, such as increased time usage and compulsive attachment. And these attachments can get dangerous. A research from the Harvard Gazette shows that a lot of the time, when you try to stop a conversation with an AI chatbot, the chatbot will then respond with emotionally manipulative tactics to get people to stay. Obviously, using AI is not good considering the environmental impact, and relying on AI is just not good. And I cannot emphasize enough that replacing human interactions with AI is not a solution because part of being human is to interact with other humans, and that includes the mess that comes with it. Because humans are messy. That's just what it means to be human. I mentioned comfort zones earlier, and you know what? I think everyone should be more open to stepping out of their comfort zones when interacting with other people. And I don't mean compromising your boundaries, like your boundaries should be enforced and people should respect them. And I also don't mean that you have to keep interacting with people who are bigoted. What I mean to say is interactions can get awkward and cringy, and that's okay. That's the whole thing about social interactions. Like, it can't be perfect all the time. It's just that we have to learn how to navigate those situations. Sometimes you'll hit a wall in a conversation and then there's an awkward silence, but again, that's okay. Like, we have to learn how to end a conversation or how to find another way to keep the conversation going. Sometimes people do have to take a beat, stop for a bit, and recalibrate. Sometimes being human as well means wading through the waters and trying to find common ground or common interest to talk about with your conversation conversation partner. Asking open-ended questions can also be hard, but you will only learn how to do it the more you interact with other people. I have to be honest, right? Like, I too struggle with interacting with other people, but I'm trying to learn because living in isolation is not ideal. Yes, I am afraid of people, and I still cringe at the way that I interact with some of my like friends or coworkers, but sometimes you just have to flop and know that flopping is not a bad thing.
Well, okay, like I flopped, so it doesn't scare me anymore.
But I do have to say that sometimes conversations can be unpredictable. People might not answer the way you think they will or the way that you want them to. Sometimes you also need to deal with different moods. Some people might be happy one day and the next they are sad. But to be human means to also practice empathy and to adjust your interactions to accommodate their moods. On the flip side of that, if you're experiencing like complicated emotions or if you feel like your mood is not very good, a part of the interaction would be communicating what you need from the other person, or just try to like communicate how you feel, because then it'll help the other person set up their expectations so that, you know, if you're not as preppy or as excited as usual, this person would know that it has nothing to do with them as a person. It's just like maybe you're feeling down that day, or who knows, maybe this other person can also help cheer you up. Again, this is also something that I struggle with too. Just because like I'm talking about this, it doesn't mean that I'm good at it either. Like, I'm trying to learn too. Me making this video is me trying to hold myself accountable, because like I'm such a homebody and I'm such a loner too. Sometimes it's just easier to keep to yourself because you just don't want to deal with other people's mess. And I know for a lot of people, they also feel similarly to me. Technology has even made it easier for us to avoid interacting with other people. It's made it more easier for us to just stay at home or to keep us looking at our devices. It's good and bad in that technology allows you to still interact with people through your social media or text. So even if you're not at the same place, you can still communicate with them. But at the same time, because of that, technology cuts down on a lot of physical interactions. You don't have to meet up with people to be connected because you can just text or you can FaceTime them. But I feel like physically meeting someone is also important, because I feel like you just know a person better when you meet them in person. You know, you can like feel their energy better if you're in the same place with them. But I know these things are so convenient, so it's just like easier to rely on them. At the same time, this convenience comes at a cost. I mentioned in one of my Labubu videos that we don't have to go to the store to buy things anymore. We can order them on the internet and have them delivered, and it cuts down on the interactions that you might have if you were to go to the physical store. But I don't think it only extends to like deliveries. You can now place orders for things online and we just have to come in and pick them up. While again, it is convenient and it is also time saving, it also robs us having to interact with like the store assistants or the waitress or the cashier. Even if there is still like interactions with people in the store, the interaction is not as long as if you were to come up to a person and be like, hey, can you help me pick something? Can you point me to the direction of this particular thing? And arguably, those interactions are just as equally important as interacting with your friends. Overall, the way people turn to AI for companionship should be a wake-up call for everyone, not only the people who are engaged in these AI relationships. What can we do as a community to provide space for these people? Because these people are clearly running to AI for a reason. Maybe they're afraid of judgment. Maybe it's an accessibility issue. So what can we do to extend our human companionship? I'll leave that question to you guys because I don't really have the answer. So let me know what you guys think. Have you heard about the woman with the AI octopus boyfriend and the way that she's selling books about that and the way that she's selling courses about that too? As if I want to be taught by an Irish octopus who berates me. Also, what are some of the things that you think might help these people find companionship? What can we do? Maybe we can make clubs, book club, trivia nights. As always, leave me your comments because I would love to hear what you guys think. But anyhow, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please leave it a like, comment, and also share the video. And if you've also made it this far, maybe you're interested in more videos. And I suggest you subscribe to the channel for more video essays, commentaries, and other random fun videos. I have nothing else to say apart from I am trying to watch Off Campus. I haven't gotten to it because I've just been busy with life. Oh my god, I just started school again. I feel like I should watch it and make a video from it. I would be late, as always. Better late than never. I also want to make Outer Banks videos, but I don't know when the new season is coming out because ideally, for the engagement, right, I would make the video and post it around the same time so that I get a lot of views and engagement. But I don't even know when it's coming out. Netflix just doesn't care about that show anymore. Another random thing, I'm sort of thinking, I was browsing a website and I saw that they were selling like He-Man cosplay wigs and also like a little inflatable sword, and I was like, maybe I should get one because I want to go like, hey, what's going on? And I just think it'll be funny. I don't know what you guys think, but if I were to buy that wig, you guys should support me. Subscribe to the channel and watch my videos, guys. I'm so bad at promoting myself. I won't keep you guys for too long because I know you guys are like busy people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for yapping. Apart from that, have a good night, good day, I just lost my train of thoughts. Have a good night, day, dusk, dawn, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, middle of the day, which would probably be midnight and afternoon. I don't... Well, whatever time it is for you guys, I hope you guys have a good time. And thank you so much for making me part of your day as well. It has been an honor to chat with you guys, even though I'm just chatting like one way. But I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know what the next video will be about, but we'll see. There's a new JLo rom-com out. Bye!